Hi everybody, Bob with Knivestown here. Today we're going to take a look at a knife by Victorinox, that maker of the Swiss Army knife. What we have today is the Victorinox Executive. And this is a very popular model. Really, it's the smaller. When you think about Swiss Army knives, you think about the ones with dozens of tools on them, and those are the ones that make the big splash. But if you were to take a poll of Swiss Army knives or owners, you would find that it's really the smaller ones with just a few implements on them that are the ones that are most popular and owned the most. Anyway, this is one of those, and it arrives in the standard box with the Victorinox Literature, which does give you a diagram of the tools and the implements that are on the knife. It gives information about the care and handling and so forth. In 1884, Karl Elsner opened his cutlery workshop in Eibach, Switzerland. In 1891, he obtained the first contract to supply the Swiss Army with a soldier's knife. 6 years later, he invented the Swiss officer's knife and was officially registered on June 12, 1897. So there's the startup of a very famous company. The knife ships in a plastic retainer that goes inside the box to keep it from rattling around during shipping. And here we have it. This is the executive model. Let's take a look at that. As with all Swiss Army knives, they're built with great precision and care. They all have the same look about them. The quality is absolutely consistent. Even the color is the same from knife to knife. That red it's the same red from knife to knife, year after year. This is a very good little model, so let's get right to it. I'll begin with the blade portions. We've got a couple of blades on this particular model. The first is a pen blade. There. Just a short little blade, just for your small pen blade type chores. That's a 1.3 inch blade, and you can see that would handle just nice small little chores. But that, believe me though, that's nothing to sneeze at. That is a very sharp blade. Then there is also a larger blade there, and that blade is 2 1/4 inches, and that would be that would be for a larger job, of course. And all of these blades are that famous Swiss Army steel, which really holds an edge a very long time. They all open with a nail neck. The next blade here is a curious little tool, and I actually had to look it up to find out what it is. This is a orange peeler with a screwdriver tip, and I find that very interesting actually, because I own a Mini Champ, and the Mini Champ has a orange peeler on it also. There it is. And it looks a little bit different. It's more of a sort of a hook knife, a gut hook almost, so that you work it around this way and score the orange, and then you can take it off in sections. And then this is a little scraper piece right here. Well, an orange peeler, it's kind of an obscure tool to begin with, and I found it very interesting that there's more than one version of that tool. So, they don't miss a detail. But in the Executive, it's a little bit larger in size than the Mini Champ, although that Mini Champ is thicker. You can see the difference there. But anyway, the point is that there's a little bit more to work with in this format, so they made it a little bit different. And it's kind of got a serrated edge right there, and that's good for cutting and then scraping, I guess, if you want to clean up the orange. Okay, that's 3 there on that side. On this side we have a nail file, and then that tip part is a fingernail cleaner. So you've got a nail file and fingernail cleaner right there at the tip. Remember, this is the Executive model, so you're an executive now. You're going to want to maintain that manicured look. The next tool is the scissors, which no Swiss Army knife is complete without. And probably most Swiss Army knife owners will tell you that the scissors is one of the most used tools on the knife. And as a Swiss Army knife owner, I certainly do agree with that. It's a good using pair of scissors. I've done a lot of cutting with scissors like that. Of course, as always, we have the slotted implements here, the ones that fit in the little notches here, and of course the tweezers, as you would expect. The tweezers come there, and those are you're just what you're accustomed to. I've seen that on many Swiss Army knives. It fits right in there, nice and snug. And then on the other side is the famous toothpick. And then, of course, it does come with a key ring. And I think they do count that as an implement. That's stretching the point a little bit, I think. But anyway, they count that as an implement. But there you have it. There you've got the Executive Swiss Army knife. Good for a man or a woman. It'll easily fit into a pocket, a purse, a briefcase, a pencil tray in the center drawer of your desk, anywhere. And that'll do office jobs. It'll do really any kind of just daily cutting task you want. It's a great everyday carry knife, the Executive. So give yourself a promotion and pick one up. All right, well, thanks a lot. I'll see you again.